Why hello, my fine flexi friend. Welcome to today's session. My name is Jasper. Today we're going to be going through an upper body workout here on the Essential series. We have got a wonderful array of exercises that I think you're really going to dig. We've got some fresh variations in there that you might not have encountered elsewhere to build strength, muscle, mobility from, well, in this case, the waist up. We do not need heavy weights to get the most out of today's exercises. We're going to be using a combination of body weight and varying positions that are very challenging, so you probably won't need much load. In fact, you're just gonna see me use the 5 kilo and 12.5 kilo dumbbells, which is to say you want access to something really nice and light, and then something perhaps just a little bit heavier, depending on the exercise that we are using. 2 sets for all our exercise combinations today. I'm gonna be going through coaching cues so that you can be confident you are getting the most out of every single repetition. We've got a nice warm-up coming up, and outside of that, I just want you to have a damn fine time, so do your best with your current abilities, your equipment access, and your energy. Let's get to it. Well now, buddy old bean, let's see how much of this warm-up we can do on the floor, because that's just the energy I'm feeling today. We're going to start things off with a kneeling archer. You can either be in the saddle like I am or in a tall kneeling position, and we're going to be looking at some thoracic rotation. So I want us to come here, hands clasped, and then just thinking about rotating through the torso. We're going to alternate reps like so. We're looking just to create some rotation through the upper back. It won't feel perhaps quite as big of a movement as you might think. Most of us have some restriction here. But think about pulling your shoulder blades together behind you
halfway there
upon rotation. You don't have to extend the arm like I am, but I use it as a good yardstick.
10 seconds. Rest.
Lovely. Now we're going to come into our Z press base. So our legs are coming out in front of us. This just forces us to fight for some extension in the upper back. So we're going to be nice and tall here. We're going to be doing a shoulder swimmer. Knuckles on the small of the back. Pull the shoulders back together. Send the elbows out. And then begin rotating your arms into this nice tall Y shape. And then pulling your hands to float on the back of your head. All I'm thinking about throughout this main part of the movement is how far away I can keep my upper arms basically from the front. So think here, I'm pulling far away behind me, far away behind me, far away behind me. Y shape, keep pulling them back as you're performing your rotations.
Ten seconds.
Oh, that'll do nicely. And would you believe, we're just going to come down into the humble kneeling push-up, but I would like you to pay attention to how this feels. If this feels tough for you already, take that into consideration when we are performing some of our push-up variations today. Variation, don't get too afraid, just the one. So, just on our knees there, hands outside of shoulders, elbows relatively tucked to the body. Try to connect the chest and push back on up, just so we get that movement dialed in. Nice and warm through the areas that we want. And assessing our current readiness for push-ups.
Halfway there.
Do not fret. If this already feels tough, you can use a combination of kneeling push-ups today or just lowering only, where you focus on going controlled to the bottom and then getting up however you need to. Now last two, we're just going to do a dumbbell external rotation on either side of the body. So I'm just in this kneeling position, my arm directly out to the side, and I'm going to try and keep this 90-degree angle. Holding a nice light weight here, just going to control it down, no quicker than I'm doing here, until you feel a good stretch inside the shoulder, and then pull those knuckles behind you.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
And finally, to conclude our warm-up here, we're just going to do the same on the other side.
Last round.
Oopsie daisy. Our opening strength pairing will require us to have light to moderate dumbbells. Again, today's program, slightly different flavor. I've been combining muscle group exercises, which is to say we're going to be hitting the same muscle groups more or less back to back in some of our pairings, not all of them. So we are going to experience a higher level of fatigue.
10 seconds.
Agonist supersets, I believe they call it in the business.
Rest.
So, to hand, we're going to have, like I said, light to moderate. We're going to be doing a 1 1/4 tall kneeling shoulder press. Now, what that means, for every 1 rep in this tall kneeling position, which for the record, you could do this standing. It's just a nice base to vary up your training. Squeezing the glutes and the tum. Palms are facing in. We are going to perform nice full press, slow and smooth to the bottom, all the way down. I'm then just going to come up a little bit to like my ears or so, then back down to the bottom and go. So we're just getting an extra quarter in that lengthened position where the muscles are at stretch, which is the most stimulating for our muscle growth here.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. So, start off with a nice big press, slow and smooth to the bottom, up a little bit, back down all the way, and punch. Okay? So you don't need as much weight here, as there is more continuous tension in that lengthened part, which does get very fatiguing.
Halfway there. 10 seconds. Rest.
30-second rest, call me generous. We're now going to be doing an offset range push-up. So using a head of the dumbbell, we're going to do one side at a time. One hand is on the floor, the other is on an elevated position. If you don't have access to that, don't worry. Simply do your best or perform regular push-ups and take an extra break. So I'm going to go right side first and then left side. What this allows us to do is get a deeper stretch through that one side, which you're going to experience here.
Round 2.
I'm going to try and touch my chest on the floor, getting a good stretch, especially on that side. Press to the top. I'm then going to perform a shoulder tap and fully pronate that shoulder at the top. Protract. So the shoulder blade goes through full range, big stretch, big retraction. Press, protract.
Halfway there.
Again, this could be on the knees. It could be lowering only. Any combination of the lot there. This is tough, especially as the shoulder's already a bit tired from that press movement.
Rest.
Okay, I appreciate I was trying to get in a lot of information there because I care and not assume that everyone can do these. It's really tough. Just to recap, you could be doing that on the knee like we did, but with that one hand elevated. You could just do lowering only and then get back up however you need. Combination therein, we might get so tired that we have to then just use lowering only repetitions in our second set. We'll have a look. For now, lest we continue.
Round 3.
Try a wider foot base if you need to for better balance.
Halfway there. 10 seconds. Rest.
Oh, push-ups offer infinite progression. That's why I do like playing with different variations, even though they can be oh so humbling. Would you believe? We're coming back in from the top. These shoulders are getting a scorching here. Back to the press, push-ups, and then we get a longer rest. Okay, dumbbells back.
Round 4.
Can feel that fatigue. So much tougher already.
Halfway there.
Yikes. Oh.
10 seconds.
Oh. Ah. Oh my God.
Rest.
Eat my hat, that got way harder. So we're really going to feel how tired our shoulders are, triceps as well, in this second round of push-ups. Just to give you an example, I'm not phoning it in. I'm going to go negative only. To give you an example of how you can use that now or in your own training, just controlling yourself to the bottom, getting that nice loaded stretch, and then come back in a way that is mechanically easier, such as with the knees. So, back on top, eccentric only, big stretch, back from the knees.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
Oh, buddy, old bean. Tough pairing. Again, these kind of combinations, super tough on the fatigue of that area. It's a nice thing to use once in a while or for a phase of your training as a different challenging stimulus instead of the normal superset option, which might be do chest or shoulders and then back so one can rest, a push and a pull if you would. But this is nice and humbling.
Last round.
Ooh, last one.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
Oh, it's tough.
Rest.
And rest we shall. We get a full minute here. So, next up, we are going to be training back to back. Firstly, using a lat row variation, which has got some specific details, and then with a dual dumbbell pullover, which does stretch the lats out, but it's also great for some shoulder mobility. I'm going to be using my lightest pair of dumbbells to really get a feel for the lat row. And for the pullover, definitely very light as well. I'll explain those as we go. But first of all, excuse me.
10 seconds.
Oopsie daisy. The lat row, we are looking to imagine we're pulling a bar into our hip instead of to the chest. So if I hold my dumbbells with the knuckles forward, a slight bend in the elbow, but it's like I'm pulling right into my hips. Okay. Drive back, get a good squeeze, keeping the chest tall, and then allow the arms to stretch at the bottom. you see a very slight bend in the elbow, trying to put most of that emphasis
Halfway
in a
there.
good lat squeeze. If it feels too easy, that's cool. You can go harder on the next one. But it is a different sensation than a lot of your typical rows.
10 seconds. Rest.
And rest we shall. Now, when it comes to the pullover, if you have access to a way of elevating yourself off the floor, that can be nice because you get more range overhead. Naturally, these dumbbells are going to hit the floor, but that's fine. We can still get a good stimulus. What I would recommend, if I'm holding my light dumbbells, go light first, I'm going to put my hand right up against the top, which just means I get a bit more range of motion rather than here or in the middle, so we can get more out of it. So, I'm here, keeping the elbows reasonably the same angle throughout. I'm going to go over as far as feels good for me, touch the dumbbell to the floor, pull back over. So slow and smooth, long stretch, tap, pull over.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Okay. Now those might have been new and novel, and you might have taken some time to get used to them. That's okay. We're learning, as well as getting some good trainings in here. So, good chance now to adjust your weights if you need to. Let's do the lat row again. I am going to try something a bit heavier, and we'll take it from there.
Round 3.
Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch.
Halfway there.
So tough.
Ten seconds.
Okay.
Rest.
And the last of the pullovers coming up here. Again, if it was too easy, go a bit heavier. But this will be one of the lighter movements you do. Okay. A lot of talking.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Jolly good. Okay. Next up, we're actually going to be doing some core work, sneaking it in before the end of the workout with some hollow rotations. Okay, it's just a nice twist on some classics. I'm going to start talking about it now. So, we're going to lie down flat. Your legs are actually going to be chilling on the floor here. And what I want you to do, interlock your fingers, squeeze your palms together. Now we are going to crunch up through the abs.
Rest.
Okay, into this position. You should already feel this switch done. We don't want a gap in the lower back, so you want your lower back to be sealed to the floor. That's how hard we're working there, okay? If you find it really isn't, you could bend your knees, okay? But try straight legged first. From here, We're going to start by opening overhead,
Seconds.
pulling back, rotating to one side, then the other, and back and repeat.
Let's go.
Let's give it a go. So I'm going to crunch up, open the arms overhead, back, rotate, rotate.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Okay, a few things to focus on there. And again, if it felt too easy, you can add a light dumbbell to the next one, which I think I'll give a go to. Next up, a 3-position lateral raise, followed by to failure. So what we mean here is we're going to grab some light dumbbells, lateral raise, 1 pause, 2 pause, 3 pause down for 4 to 6, and then just regular reps to failure. Let's check it out.
Round
1 pause, 2 pause, 3 pause, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. I'm going to do 2 more like that.
halfway there.
Yeah. And then just regular reps to failure, no resting at the bottom.
10 seconds. Rest.
Oh, toasty. Cool. We're going to do that pairing one more time. Like I said, I'm going to try adding this dumbbell in to that first movement. Ooh. Good ab pump though. I'd love some new shoes. I think it's time. Okay.
Round 3.
Crunch up, flatten the back out, overhead. Don't fall back.
Halfway there. Seconds. Rest.
Oh, it's a fun one. It's different. I like it. I like a bit of variation. Last of the 3-position partials. Now, yes, we got some fatigue, but if that did just feel too easy, try a little heavier. But you do not need much. You do not need much. And then we just got a nice bicep tricep finisher. I have enjoyed this. Some different stuff happening today, as I hope you have too. Okay, 4 to 6 reps with our pauses.
Halfway there.
One more.
10 seconds. Rest.
Okay, jolly good. So, after our nice leisurely rest here, first one we're going to be looking at is our tricep isolation, is a JM press. Excuse me. So, we're going to be lying down, Knees up, nice floor base. What I want you to think about doing, palms sort of facing towards your feet, think about controlling the dumbbell down, and if it was like a stick, it would be right at your neck, okay? Just a different variation of this whole kind of skull crusher, shoulder, tricep extension continuum. So you're dropping the elbows towards the hips whilst the dumbbells come down here, pressing there. So it's like a close grip bench press crossed with a skull crusher. If for whatever reason it doesn't feel so hot on the elbows, some people experience that, you could just go for a regular like neutral grip skull crusher to the side of the head, might feel a bit better. Let's have a play here. So I'm gonna simultaneously drop the elbows towards the hips, dumbbells to the neck, press. Huge elbow bend, so we are getting a really nice lengthened bias on that tricep as it's getting a huge stretch.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
Okay, that felt good. I will try something heavier on the second one, but it's good to dial in that technique. And finally, we've got a Zottman curl. Now, Zottman curl involves a bicep curl where the palms start forward, we curl up, we rotate the palms away at the top and control down there in what is a mechanically tougher position for most of us. What I want us to do is do like a set there and then do lengthened partials to failure. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna try like 8 to 10 Zottmans. Curl up, turn away, control down. Up, away, down. And then with around 10 seconds left, I'm going to go into just like the bottom quarter of the supinated curl to really toast things off in that lengthened position.
Halfway there.
Okay, now I'm just going to go partial, so there to there. Keep the elbows pulled forward, just up a little bit. Stretch, stretch. Oh, it's hot.
Rest.
Okay. My friend, you have one set of each to finish the workout. Adjust your loads here, should you please. I will try. I hope you've had a good time. Hope it's been useful. Either way, you've done something great if you're still listening. In the context of your busy, adult, stressful life, you did something great for your body and your mind. I like it. All these feel much heavier.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
Oh, sizzle sticks. That's really going to light my ass up on the Zottman. But it's the last set, so let's give it a pop. In this context, where you're seeing me grab a load that I know is going to be tough for that Zottman, I'm just going to do as many as I can in good form, more or less, and then go into those lengthened partials. Which, by the way, we're doing, because it always feels good, I've known it, but the research is now catching up. That lengthened partials are a good thing to incorporate into your training to optimize muscular hypertrophy. Let's go! Good God. Let's try 8 here, Jasper. Oh, buddy.
Halfway there.
Yikes. And let's go partials.
10 seconds. Rest.
Goodness griefus. Oh, but a lovely pump. My friend, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new around here, please let me know who you are, where you came from, maybe even how you heard about me. Those of you that have been whispering into the annals of the internet, such as Reddit, heard a few people come from Reddit, please keep doing it. It means a lot to me. We're just getting started in bringing the best workout content to the party. I love you lots. I'll see you soon.